Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, like and share this video so you never miss out on ancient secrets like this. This is gonna blow your mind. When we picture Vikings, we see warriors and explorers, but their greatest feat was surviving brutal Scandinavian winters. Their secret wasn't just strength or ships, it was the hearth at the centre of their homes. The Viking longhouse, built from timber, was only as good as its heat source. Without effective warmth, survival was impossible. The hearth was more than a fire pit. It was a marvel of ancient engineering, designed to capture, store and distribute heat. Every element, from the stones beneath the fire to the smoke hole above, was part of a survival strategy. Winters in Norway, Sweden and Iceland were harsh, with little daylight and relentless cold. The hearth became the sun of the household, a source of light, warmth and community. Understanding the Viking hearth is understanding their resilience. With only earth, stone and wood, they engineered a system that kept families alive through the darkest months. Their ingenuity turned simple materials into a life-saving solution. Let's explore how the Vikings engineered their way through winter. The Viking hearth's effectiveness started with its foundation. Instead of a simple pit, they built a base of tightly fitted, dense stones like soapstone or granite on a bed of sand or gravel. These stones were chosen for their ability to withstand intense heat without cracking or exploding. The stone base acted as a fireproof barrier and a stable platform for fuel. Most importantly, it served as a thermal battery, absorbing and storing heat from the fire. This was no afterthought. Building the hearth required labour and careful planning. The stones had to be gathered, shaped, and fitted with precision. The result was a foundation that captured and held warmth, sustaining families through the coldest nights. The hearth was central to Viking life, as vital as the walls and roof. It was designed to do more than produce heat. It was built to store it. This was the first step in their winter survival system. The true genius of the Viking hearth was its ability to store heat. As fires burned on the stone base, the stones absorbed energy, turning the hearth into a slow-release radiator. Unlike a simple fire, which cools quickly, the heated stones radiated warmth long after the flames died down. Throughout the day, the stones accumulated heat. At night, they released it steadily, keeping the longhouse warm. This radiant heat was more comfortable and efficient than direct flames. It warmed people and objects, not just the air, creating a stable indoor climate. The principle of thermal mass heating, now used in modern eco-friendly design, was mastered by Vikings centuries ago. Their hearth was an active climate control system, not just a place to burn wood. This innovation made winter survival possible. The Viking hearth was a silent guardian, working through the night. A fire needs oxygen, and the Vikings mastered airflow for efficient burning. Their hearths included subtle gaps or channels at the base, allowing air to feed the fire from below. This underdraft system ensured a clean, hot burn with minimal smoke. The longhouse itself helped. Small gaps in the walls let cool air in at floor level, drawn toward the hearth. Hot air and smoke rose to a vent in the roof, creating a natural chimney effect. This cycle, fresh air in, smoke out, kept the fire burning efficiently and the air breathable. The stack effect ventilated the entire longhouse, preventing dangerous smoke build-up. Efficient airflow was as crucial as heat storage. The Vikings' design balanced warmth, safety, and comfort. Their mastery of air made the hearth the true heart of the home. The hearth's location was strategic, always at the centre of the longhouse. This central placement allowed heat to radiate evenly in all directions. The long, narrow shape of the building meant no one was far from the warmth. Benches and beds along the walls caught the radiant heat, turning the whole space into a passive conductor. The hearth also divided the living area, creating zones for different activities and temperatures. Closest to the fire was warmest, further away, cooler, ideal for storage or sleeping. Rising warm air created a buffer under the roof, reducing heat loss. The hearth's position worked with the architecture to maximize heat retention. Every detail was designed for survival and comfort. The central hearth defined the rhythm of Viking indoor life. Fuel was precious, so Vikings burned wood with care and skill. They preferred dense hardwoods like oak and birch, which burned slowly and produced lasting heat. Wood was cut and dried well in advance to ensure efficient burning. Fires were kept steady by adding 1 or 2 logs at a time, not overloading the hearth. At night they banked the fire, covering embers with ash to smoulder until morning. This preserved heat in the stones and made restarting the fire easy. Efficient fuel use was essential. Waste would have meant cold nights. The synergy between hearth design and fire management was key. Every log counted, every ember mattered. This careful approach kept Viking families warm all winter. Each element, stone-based thermal mass airflow, central placement and fuel management, formed a unified system. The Viking hearth was a masterpiece of domestic engineering, refined over generations. The stone base stored heat, the fire was expertly managed, and the architecture supported natural ventilation. Radiant warmth was distributed evenly, making the longhouse habitable through the harshest winters. No single part worked alone. The system was holistic. This approach showed a deep understanding of physics, learned through experience. The longhouse became a self-regulating environment powered by fire and stone. These ancient techniques inspire today's sustainable building designs. The Viking hearth proves that simple, clever solutions can outlast the coldest challenges. It was more than a shelter. It was survival by design. The Viking hearth is more than history. It's a lesson in ingenuity. It reminds us that necessity drives innovation and that survival often depends on clever design. By studying ancient technologies, we connect with our past and gain practical wisdom for the future. The principles behind the Viking hearth, passive heating, thermal mass, natural ventilation, are relevant now more than ever. As we face climate challenges, these low-impact, high-efficiency ideas inspire modern solutions. From survivalists to architects, many still channel the spirit of the Viking engineer. Let's not let this knowledge fade. Exploring ancient techniques can help us build a more resilient future. The past is full of wisdom, waiting to be rediscovered. By learning from our ancestors, we honour their ingenuity and equip ourselves for tomorrow. The story of the Viking hearth endures, if we're willing to listen.